Hi, Kathy here from Kathy's Cute Creations. Today is block 10, the last block of our block of the month. You will need all the fabric that you have used when you made the last 9 months, because that's what we're going to use to make this block. It is just like making a crazy quilt, except it's called a crazy block. So let me show you my fabric and we'll get started. Now here are my scraps, and you can see these are when we made the strips. So these are all the different colors that I have in my blocks that I have done so far. Now it's up to you whether you want to iron your fabric or not. I find it easier to sew if you iron it, and if you're one of those that starts, then yes, you're going to want to iron it. And the first thing you do is just pick out whatever color you want to start with. You're going to make it whatever size you want to make it. You're going to make, for example, if I want to start out, and I looked at all of my squares on the wall. Let me see if I can give you a shot of that. Hold on one second. All right, here's me looking from where I'm standing here at the table, and there's all my blocks. And as I'm looking at them, I see that I want to make my block red, so I have a balance between that second row, very right-hand side red one, because it seems to be the only one that has a lot of red in it. To begin with, I really like this pink right here, so I want to use that pink in mine. Now, when I start with my first piece of fabric, this doesn't necessarily mean that this is the middle. If you want this to be the middle, that's fine. But all I'm doing is adding fabric, and when I get done adding fabric, because I'm gonna add enough fabric that I'll have a big area of fabric, all different colors. That's when I'll put my ruler down and decide what I want to be the center and what I don't want to be the center. So I like this color next. So all I'm doing is laying it down like this. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You just lay it any old way you want. Let's see. I think I want specifically to have this pink in there. So I'm going to leave enough space here for my 1/4 inch. So I got to lay it on top. Now try this out before you do it so you know what it's going to look like. So if I lay it on top, when I get done sewing it and I fold it over, it looks like that. Okay? Let's see here. And it's just a 1/4 inch. You don't need to be back spacing any of your stitches. And all I did was use the scissors to cut this fabric. Some of it's already cut. So that looks good. I kind of like this one next. So I'm going to put it on here, and I'm just going to put it like, let's see, which part do I want? I think that leaf right there. Do this. And I'll cut it here in a minute, and I'll show you what I'm doing. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this fabric. Let me move these needles, these pins here. I'm going to pull this because I'm not ironing it. So all I did was pulled it, so it won't have a little piece of a bunch in there. Just go over the top of that. Okay, then fold it like that. And then let's see what I like here. I like, let's go with this here. I kind of like this piece. So I'm going to put it right here. That looks pretty good. Go right down and see. I'll make sure that I'm going to have enough here to catch another piece of fabric. So I'm going to pull that off a little bit. Okay. I'm getting here, so I'm going to make sure I have it flat. Okay, that looks good. Let's go around here and let's see. I really like this color here. That is really neat. All right, let's put that on there. I'm this way with it. Lay it down like that. Actually, oops. I'm just going to follow that line, I think. Let's see if that's what I want to do. Yes, I do want to do that. So instead of following my 1/4 foot, 1/4 inch, I'm going to go ahead and do this line right here. I'm just going to go right down that line. Smooth this again. Okay. Notice I'm not even sewing to the end of it. See? And I open it up. Alrighty. I decided to put this green on right here. So it goes right like that. There's a strip right here already done. Let's just go right about right there. That looks good. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron this, and I'll be right back, and I'm going to show you over here at the cutting board what I'm going to do. Okay, here's what it looks like. I haven't cut it yet, and this is when I decide what I want to do with it. So the first thing I want to do, even though I have that flower set like I have it, I'm going to take this ruler, and the first thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to cut this edge off here. I'm going to cut right off of that. So let me cut that first. And I'll show you here. Hold on a second. Alright, so I'm taking off up to the pink. So I cut this off, and although I want to use this fabric, I'm going to use it here in a minute. So I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, let's see, I really like that. So let's go about right here. Okay. Now I'm still not thinking about that fabric being in the middle of my, all I'm doing is cutting around it to get it right now. Okay, let's see. I want to go this way with it. Okay, so I did that. I think I want to have that on the straight. So in that case, I'm going to need to I'm going to need to sew more of that. So see, here's where you stop and decide. For example, I want to take two, I want these two, maybe even these three, because I kind of like this color right here. So what I have to do is I need to go ahead and sew this fabric on there. Let's see, let me think. Actually, I could just cover that, so I really don't need to do that either. Let me just go ahead and cut this strip here. Okay, take that aside. Whoops. Okay, turn it. Let me see. Actually, and this is you designing your square. So see, it's not square. Let me flip the camera. Hold on one second. All right. See, it's not square. And now I'm going to add some more because I want to get some more of that red in there. Just different areas of the red. So we're going back over here to the sewing machine. Okay, here's that fabric again. That purple stuff. All right. I laid it down on this edge. Just so. I'll go down to the end here. Okay. There you go. I'm just cutting this with my scissors, so let's take this off here. Take it off here. Okay, take that off. Let's go with it right here. That looks good. Instead of Build-A-Bear, it's Build-A-Block, huh? Okay. Let's see here. Now I need a color that goes with this. Okay, I'm back. I gotta cut up some more, so we're gonna put this across there. I'm thinking, maybe not. No, I think I want a bigger piece. Let's go this way with it. Okay, here's that piece. Get another red piece for this corner right here. Just grab that red right there. Right there. I'm going to go a little bit and then I'm going to stop. Okay, because I want to just do that right there because I'm going to go ahead and put another piece across here. So let me just cut that off with my scissors. That's it. Let's see here. Guess I'm taking that off right there. Let's see here. Alright, let me put it the yarn on board and cut it again. Okay, after I put this piece on, I changed my mind because I am going to put a longer strip on here. So let's see if I can get it ripped out of here. Let's see here. There we go. Alrighty. to do is I want to take this big long strip right here. Whoops, as it falls off the table. And put it across that. Just like that. Let's make sure I get that in there. Yep, that's what I want to do. Okay, here we go. And when we get finished here, I'm going to show you how to do the 1/4 inch on these seams, because I'll show you here in a second, as soon as I get done with this, what I'm talking about. So if you note, this right here is my seam. All this extra fabric. Well, you only want 1/4 inch, so I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so I want to put that on the corner. Alright, and then let me go over there and see how big it is, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, so you can see that I've put my ruler down on it. So I already know it's 12.5 inches. So I put my ruler on it, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I want more of the pink. So what I have to do in order to get my 12.5 is I want to go ahead and almost border it in pink. So I have to put pink up along the top here. I need to put pink down here, down in this corner. It has to go this way. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get a pink going here and here, and up here, and across there. So my flower won't be in the middle. Let me move that. It's going to be off to the side, but that's fine, because I'll have it all bordered in pink. So that's what I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and do. So let's go over there and finish this up. All right, we're going to put pink on this side here. Alrighty. Yep, all the way off. Okay, that's that one. Now we need to do it over here. Let's go to this big end right here. The big long end. Okay, let's see if we have enough fabric. Yes, we do. And actually, I know I won't have that whole corner, I don't think. So let's go off the edge there. Okay. I need more on this end than that end. Let's go down a little bit further. There we go. Right there. Okay. Alright, just like that. So I need to put a red here. There's that. And then I need to do this end, which I will do with this piece right here. And it looks like I have got red on every corner, so that's good. So now we're going to iron it out flat before I take it over there and cut it. All right, before we cut it, this is where we need to be trimming all this excess. So here's a seam here. And I was going to use this 1/4" ruler, but a lot of people don't have that. So take your ruler, and in this case, if you happen to have an omni-grid, this dark part on the corner of the ruler is a 1/4". All you have to do is line it up with this very first line, which is what I'm doing here. Move up a little bit on my cutting board. Let's see where my seam is at. My goodness, I can't barely. There we go, see it. And all the way up to the top. Let's see here. Okay. Oop, I can get my threads right there. Alright. And just, let's see, that looks okay. And of course, if you don't want to use your ruler, you can use your scissors too. There's another one here. Just make sure that your fabric is underneath there before you start cutting. Of course, if you cut it, you'll just add another piece, so it's no big deal. Let's see here. There's a piece here. And it's kind of jagged because I haven't totally trimmed all the excess off, but that's okay. Just go as far as you can and stop with it. You'll be trimming it off here in a minute. Alright, and it's mainly the outside seams that you're looking at. It doesn't make a difference about the inside. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to put my ruler on it. Let's get this. Right here, I didn't get that. There you go. Okay. So let's take a look at it here. So here's my ruler. And like I said, I want to make sure I got all the pink. I really like that pink up there. So I may, I might not be able to get the pink that I want in here. I might redo, let's see here. Keeping in mind that you're going to lose a 1/4" all the way around. But I kind of like that area right there. But I still think I'm going to have to put more pink on here. So if I go over here, okay, let's get as much as I can, and then I'm going to add some more over what I have. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it right here. I think I'm going to cut it right here. Let's see. Then I'm going to take a look at it. Okay. Let's move this ruler out of the way. Let's just trim this mat here. So here's my block. Trying to, oops, let's see here. Let's cut this off right here. Okay. I don't know if I Nope, it does not have enough pink in it for me. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is, let's just go with this piece here. Okay, I'm going to take this piece, because I'm looking at it, and I'm going to make it so that it goes over here. So I'm going to add that to that. This is why you're making your own blocks, so that you can do it any way you want. And I think I'm going to take I'm trying to think here. If I want it on that side, or do I want it on this side? No, I think I want it on that side, but I think I want it like that. So yes, I'm going to add to that side and this side. I'm still debating on this side. I might have a strip over there that I can stick on this side, because I definitely want more red. So let me go over there. First, let me cut this excess off of here. Well, I got it here, but I'm taking those two over, and I am cutting this. I want to take that one. I'm cutting this one here, because I don't know if I want to use this one or not. We will see here in a second. I might just have my own strip over there to use. Alright, let's go back over here to the sewing machine. So here's the other side. I went ahead and I cut that edge off there. Get down to the end. Okay. So that's got a corner on it, and I mean an edge on it, and then let's do the last one. Off. And this is the one we're going to put on there, put on the corner. Now this might not be perfectly framed, because, you know, I'm going to go over there and cut it in a minute here. So let's see. Alright, so before I cut it, I'm going to iron it to get all this out. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back over here, got my ruler on it, and as you can tell, I'm thinking about keeping more down here in the red and less up there, so it won't have a red border, which is fine, and part of that flower will be chopped off, which is fine also, because I kind of want to keep this little bit of piece here. I like that, and I definitely like this right in here, so that's what I'm keeping on here. So it's going to be like that, and I'm just going to cut it all. So hold on a second, I'll show you. Okay, so I've kept it here, and I'm going to, and actually it doesn't really need to be straight, so we can turn it at an angle here a little bit. See if I can catch the colors I want. That looks pretty good. Okay. And around to the tail end. Let's see if I got it. Yes, I did. Okay. Oops. The corner right here with a piece of thread on it. all my little scraggly threads are hanging on. There we go. And there we have it. That's the square. All right, that's what I've ended up with. So I'll put it up on the design board. That's number 10. And now what you need to be thinking about is your borders. Your strips if you're going to want to put them on. So hold on, I'm going to get my fabric. I'm back. So this is what I've done. Let me move over a little bit. You can see on the design wall there. Let me lift that up. I went ahead and I put them all in the order they're going to be in. And then when I move over here, you can see here on the ironing board, these are my strips. Let me tell you what I've done. So this is what we're going to be doing next week. If you don't want to put sashing on it, that's fine. You don't have to. I did. If you want to, like I'm doing, I bought 2 yards of black fabric. It's going to be the back and it's going to be the sashing. My sashing is 2-inch strips. That's what these are here on the ironing board. I've cut out 11 of them. I'll show you here what I'm going to do with them on the design wall. Here's my fabric. It's just plain black. And the 2 yards that I bought were 44 by 45 inch with the fabric. And I'm going to pull this up here so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, I have it folded. This is the width of it, and it's doubled over. Here's the fold on it right here. Hold up a little bit for you. Hold on one second. And this is the way it comes off of the bolt. It comes folded. They have the selvages together here. This is the selvage. Here's what it looks like. That's the width of it. Okay? Move that aside. Alrighty. And I figured up my strips, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you how I figured them up so that if you want a different size strip, this is how you're going to figure it up. Okay. Hold on one second. This is what I did. I took my strip, 2 inches, cut it. I put it, okay, I'm going to use this one. I put it on the side here because this is going to be, remember now, this is 12.5 inches. This is how you're figuring it. I stopped there, took it over here for the next one. So if I put it on the left-hand side of this block, put on the left-hand side of this block, right there, and then I'm going to move the camera, put it on the side of that block. That's 3 of them right there. I have this much left over. So one strip will get me the right-hand side of this block, the left-hand side of this block. We don't need one here because we're joining these 2 blocks, and the one on the left. Okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So that's 5 strips. That leaves the inside. Okay? Got the outside taken care of and got the middle taken care of. Well, after I've put these together, those together, then I need something to go in between here. Okay? Keeping in mind that you've got the 2 inches out here. Well, you've got a 1/4 of an inch is going to be used here. But anyway, you're going to need your strip. It's going to need to be like this. Well, that takes up and leaves this much left over. I got the top, the bottom, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle. So that's 6. So 5 and 6 is 11. So I had to cut 11 strips. If you want to go bigger, that's fine. If your strips are shorter, you can sit and measure it and everything. All right, that is what that's going to look like when you get it sewn. All right, now this is not connected. That's separate. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. So go ahead, buy your fabric for your sashing, and go ahead and connect it to your blocks if you're going to have sashing. If you're not and you're just going to connect all your blocks, that's fine. Now, the reason that I want you to go ahead and sew your sashing and get it done, it's going to have you prepare your either wall hanging, table runner, which is what mine is, a table runner. It'll be laid out exactly like you want it before you sew it together. Now, if you need to measure your blocks, all right, and you haven't been measuring them all along as you've been going, and now they don't measure correctly, let's say that they are a 1/2 inch off. You can do one of two things. You can either make them bigger using fabric, or you can use the sashing to make them bigger. If your sashing is colorful, it won't stick out as much. If it's just a 1/4 of an inch, that won't show up either. You can hide it that way. All right? The other way to do it is to go ahead and cut all your blocks down by whatever. Let's say that 3 of them turned out 11 inches or 11.5, which is an entire inch off, and the rest were 12.5. You can do, depending on what you're going to do now, you can either go ahead and cut them all down to the 11 or the 11.5, because you know they're your blocks. Nobody's going to know you've made a mistake if you've made a mistake. Or you can leave them like they are and make up for it with the sashing, like I was saying, if you want to do that. All right, have them all together. The fabric is on sale now, so that's what you need to be shopping for if you haven't bought it yet. Also, go ahead, and I would recommend if you've never done any kind of quilting yet, I would recommend buying something like this here, which I just buy at Walmart. Joann's has it on sale. Lots of times it's half off, or you can get their coupon. You can get the 20% off, but it's not really expensive. And now this one is a, what size is this? Okay, so this is a baby size. So this is 45 by 60 inches. And since I'm doing a table runner, I have actually a large roll of batting that I'm going to use. But if you're doing that, all you got to do is take the size and go ahead and include your sashing. Measure it from top to bottom or add it all up, okay, on a piece of paper. Because this, the longest this is 60 inches. So this is 45 by 60. So mine's going to end up being longer than that. And you want an entire piece of this. You don't want to be putting it together in sections. All right? So look for some batting, 100% cotton. And that's what I'm going to be using. So go ahead and get all of that. Also, in addition to that, make yourself an extra square. Here's my extra square. And now all I did was took pieces that I had left over. Here it is. That's it. The main thing is for it to have seams in it, okay? And for it to be 12.5 inches. This way, if you want to practice doing a stitch on your sewing machine, you've got a seam to go down for a line. If you want to do just one little spot, you've got a spot right there, like, because you can tell the difference between this fabric, that, and this. So you can just do it right in here. This will have us ready for the actual quilting. And so next month, I'm going to explain how to sandwich this. All right, so then we can get prepared for that for the following when we do it in December. All righty, so I hope you like this video. Everybody take care, and I will see you next month. All right, bye-bye.